Welcome everyone to Planet of NY Sports. Here we talk Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, and a little bit of the Knicks and Nets. So today we will be doing a Giants and Jets pregame show. So first, we're going to talk about the New York Jets. So they're facing the Patriots. This is a pretty big game for the Jets because, hey, if you lose this game, the Patriots, they're going to sweep you again. And we know that's how it goes for the New York Jets. And then you're going to be facing a pretty long road for the playoffs. So how do you guys feel about the Jets and their chances in this game?
I think the Jets can capitalize and actually get a W because 2 weeks ago they lost to the Patriots 22-17, but they owned them in the first half. Like, they really did. And I guess, Mac Jones wants to go off in the second half, or their run game, and that's really it.
Alex, how do you feel about the Jets and their chances?
I mean, I kind of feel like the same way that Avi does. Like, I feel like against the Bills, they showed how they can capitalize off their opponent's errors and kind of use it to their advantage. So I feel like if they continue to do that, like with the defense and Sauce Gardner, he's a young talent. So I feel like if they continue to do that, they would have a chance to probably win the game.
Yeah, for sure. I would say something I want to bring up here. The Jets seem to always struggle like when they come out of the bye. So hopefully Robert Saleh has the team ready to go this week and they actually come out, But actually, I don't think that's going to happen. I see both teams being pretty conservative to start out the game. Also, let's talk about Zach Wilson real quick. Personally, I think he should probably stay in the pocket this game and needs to go to his second and third reads without leaving the pocket, because New England, they always take the first look and then boom. Like, they have that. Bill Belichick definitely has that point hammered down. So how do you guys feel about Zach Wilson this game?
I think Zach Wilson will, I don't even know how to explain Zach Wilson, because it's like one play he's in the pocket, then he's rolling out, then the next play he's sacked. So
Yeah, and this is gonna be Zach Wilson's, one of his biggest games he's gonna play, period. Because, like I said, if you lose this game, I don't like your chances like for the wild card and everything. But if you win, you'll be in first place. So that's good if you're the Jets. And let's talk about their defense as well. We know the Jets have a great defense. How do you guys feel about the Jets' defense?
They surprised me. Coming into week 1 and throughout the season, I was like, the Jets defense, maybe top 20. But now, I don't know. They seem like a top 15 defense in my book of defenses.
What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I'd say basically the same thing. I mean, they did kind of surprise me this season. Like I said earlier, I mentioned about Sauce Gardner. He's definitely a big part of their defense that has gotten it to the level where it is. So I think, they're pretty good. I'd say they're pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I think for the Jets to win this game, they, stay away from the stupid penalties and stuff too. And like I said, if you win this game, you're firmly in the playoffs driver's seat, especially if the Chargers lose to Kansas City. And now let's say you lose, you don't have the tiebreaker over New England or the Bengals or possibly the Ravens, whoever's going to be in that, wild card spot there. So the Jets, they do need to win this game. If they lose this game, I don't know. Especially with a kind of tough schedule, because you're going to play the Bills again. That's not going to be easy, and that's going to be in Buffalo. You're going to play Miami the last game of the year. You're going to go to Seattle. There's still going to be some tough games. So I feel like this is the game. They need to win. Yeah. Seriously. Now, anyways, turning over to the more important team here, let's talk about the New York Giants. The New York Giants. So, what do you guys want to get into first with the Giants?
We can talk about Daniel Jones and how, how we said last podcast, taking chances. He really didn't take any chances against the Texans, which shocked me because their defense is not the best. But it's not bad. It's like below mid. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, for sure. Daniel Jones, I mean, There's not. It's the Lions. Their defense stinks. I'll get into it more like with the keys to victory. We can talk about Kenny Golladay because, like, well, I mean, what is there to talk about at this point with this guy? He's a bum. He's a bum. He's a bum. The guy. How do you guys feel about Kenny Golladay?
3rd and 5. It was like I think it was like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3. He has a slant over the middle. Nobody's on him. Nobody. What happens? He drops it. Butterfingers through the hands. Oh, it's so bad.
Alex, how do you feel about Kenny Golladay?
He just makes me upset. Like, especially with the situation we're in right now, where we're on wide receivers. This was like kind of like his comeback game in a way, because he really hasn't been played for a lot. He's been injured. Everybody was supporting him for this game, but the next thing you know, he drops the 2 easiest passes that he's ever going to get in his life, and he's never probably going to get those ever again. So, I mean,
yeah, Kenny Golladay, the guy's a bum. The guy's a bum. I just had it to hear with him. He's facing the Lions, his old team. Woo! I don't even know if he's going to be even getting a lot of snaps, to be honest. So, anyways, talking about a more important Giants receiver that can actually catch. So Darius Slayton. Butterfingers. All right. How do we feel about Darius Slayton?
He went off against the Texans. This guy, he had 95 yards on 3 receptions and a touchdown.
Yeah, he definitely stepped up for the Giants, when you had Kenny Golladay going in and just basically and dropping the ball and stuff like that. So, it's good to see. But this goes back to the OBJ part. We need OBJ on this team. And guess what? I mentioned it in the last video. But the Giants, we're switching over to grass, finally. And guess what OBJ said? On Twitter, he had the hard eyes emoji. Hey,
he needs to stop playing with my heart like that.
Yeah, seriously. If he wants to come here, this would be big. And then you wouldn't have to worry about Kenny Golladay. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to talk about this guy anymore. Let's talk about the Giants' keys to victory. What do you guys think? Before I go, because I have like a whole list, but what do you guys, think some of the Giants' keys to victory are?
The defense, that front, that whole defense in general. Defense played well against the Texans, and they applied a lot of pressure on Davis Mills, and I think that's what they need to do against Jared Goff.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, what about you?
I would say kind of similar to last week. Obviously the defense, we're also going to need our offense to, continue to keep on improving and doing better, because like we talked about last week, the Giants, they can't blow out a team. We have to make it every game. We have to make it like the toughest game ever. And then in the end, we still come out the victor, but it's still kind of close, which it kind of was during the Texans. But I feel like we need to, how we had Slayton step up and he was doing really good. We need to continue that. Saquon still did good. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, for sure. So some of the keys to victory for me, the first thing I said is controlling the clock. I feel like that is very important because, you really need clock management. And if you don't have any of that, you're going to lose. So, and it's not just about timeouts. It's making sure you take advantage of all the chances you get when you have the ball. You cannot squander chances against this Lions team. They have a good offense, I'll give you that, but their defense is not good. You have to be able to capitalize. Another is no more drops, and this goes back to Kenny Golladay and blah blah blah. You just can't drop the ball. I have a stat here. So Kenny Golladay and Sterling Shepard are responsible for 62.5 of the team's drops. I know Sterling Shepard, he's hurt now, but Kenny Golladay, this guy. We got to catch the ball. Seriously. And And also, Wan'Dale Robinson, his drops bring them out to 70. But he's a rookie, so, like, we can give him a pass. That's okay. But still, we can't just keep relying on Saquon here and stuff. You can't. It's not, like I said before, it's not going to work that way when you're facing the Cowboys on Thanksgiving and you're facing
next week.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a big game. We'll get into that soon. Also, I know we said Daniel Jones should take chances in the last game, but I think the Giants need to just run here. I have a stat. The Lions have the third worst rush defense in the NFL. Just give the ball to Saquon and whoever else. Maybe mix in a few but we can't trust our receivers. You can't trust them. So
obviously,
you can't really. It just whether if it's like Daniel Jones, maybe doing a few options here and there, RP, whatever. You should be just run the ball. Their run defense is not. Their whole defense in general is not good. Now, also on the defensive side of things, just pressure Jared Goff. I think this is really important. It's gonna be kind of hard. The Giants, they do have some injuries on the defensive side, but of the 94 times Goff has been blitzed and the 21 times he's been hurried this season, he's been sacked 15 times, hit 25 times, and he scrambled 10 times. And he's also, we know he's not fast. So like you don't have to worry about him, like Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones trips after, But anyways, so one more key, I would say keep a spy on Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamal Williams. Those are definitely their two best offensive players, I would say, this year. Jamal Williams, especially in the red zone, they always just want to give the ball to Jamal Williams. I would know. I had him on fantasy for a few weeks. So, you got to keep an eye on him and then St. Brown. St. Brown is always a sneaky guy. I don't understand. He's very underrated in my opinion. But you got to watch him because Goff really likes throwing the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, anyways, do you guys have some predictions for this game, like a score?
All right. Giants win, I say 24-20.
Okay. Alex, what about you?
I'd say we win maybe 27-21. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Miss BAT.
I'm going to go with the Giants winning 28-20. 28-20. I think that's definitely what's probably going to happen because Detroit, they have a good offense. The defense isn't very good though, so you should be able to, Now, anyways, let's get into a little further, but we're not gonna go long here, everyone. So this isn't gonna be a long video, but the Giants versus the Cowboys. Let's just say you take care of business against the Lions, and let's say the Cowboys maybe lose to the Vikings, even if they beat the Vikings, whatever. But this game is going to be big. This is why it's very important you beat the Lions this game. That way, you don't have 3 losses. And if you have 2, and then you go and beat Dallas somehow on Thanksgiving, you wouldn't even have to really worry about Dallas anymore. Especially if they lose to Minnesota, you got to.
Yeah.
You would not have to worry about Dallas, basically jumping you. And hey, I know the Eagles losing to Jeff Saturday, as crazy as that sounds. You never know. This is the NFL. If the Eagles somehow lose tomorrow, the Giants are tied for first place. I don't understand how that, how we got here, but it's whatever. Now, this Cowboy game, it's going to be very, 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 very important. I'm going to definitely try to get a Cowboy fan on here so we can, go back and reminisce about the times that, the Giants beat the Cowboys in big spots, because we actually did that. We beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. But I digress. Anyways, like I said, all you have to do, if you take care of business against the Lions and you beat the Cowboys, you don't have to worry about them anymore. And this upcoming schedule for the Giants, you have Let's see how many division games. So the Cowboys won, Washington twice, so that's 3, and then the Eagles twice, so that's 5. You have 5 divisional games. I would say if you can go 3-2, you're in a good spot. 3-2. Like I said, you only need like 3 more wins to really get into the playoffs, but like 3-2. Like in the division right now, that should be good enough, because then you'll be 3-3, with the whole total. Because I don't really think the Giants are going to win the division unless the Eagles somehow have some big collapse, which you never know. We saw it with the Steelers, a little while ago. So, how do you guys feel about the Giants' upcoming schedule?
They have a good schedule, especially playing Washington twice.
Well, that's not going to be. It's not going
to be easy.
Well, no. When we're playing them at home, that should be a win. But facing them on the road, that's going to be a little tough, especially if they're going to have Chase Young. He should be back by then, and Taylor Heineke. They're feeling good about themselves. They're right in the thick of things for a wild card spot. So, Alex, what do you think about the upcoming schedule?
I feel like the Cowboys may be a little tough because they beat us the second game of the year, and that was pretty sad day. But I feel like we definitely improved since then a lot, and we can learn from our mistakes and do better. Eagles, I don't know. I would say Eagles would also be tough, but I feel like we have like the drive and talent to like beat these teams. It's just what we actually do on the field and execute. Some of them.
Okay, yeah. I definitely think the Giants have the drive to beat these teams, but I don't think they have the talent to beat these teams. The Giants, let's be real here, they don't have a lot of talent. So on the defensive side, they do. On the offensive side, they really don't. Besides Saquon, it's like we already know with the receivers. We're not going to keep repeating ourselves here. So, like I said, if you can go like, good 3-2 these next 5 divisional games, you're set up in a good spot, because then you would have 10 wins, and then you face Jeff Saturday and the Colts at home. If you can't win that game, come on, seriously, you can't be took seriously as a playoff contender anymore. But anyways, I think the Giants. Let's just get some predictions for our record at the end of the year. What do you guys think that's going to look like?
11-6.
What about you, Alex?
11-6 or 12-5, one of those.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. I think the Giants will. I think we beat the Lions. I think we beat the Lions. The Cowboy game.
It's gonna come down to the last possession.
Yeah, it is. I'm really I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that for now.
Right.
I think we beat Washington at home.
Yep.
I think we dropped the game against the Eagles though.
But I think we beat them at their home. That's what I think.
Yeah, because the Eagles they probably won't be playing for anything at that point. So they'll probably be resting guys and stuff like the last game of the year. That the Giants will probably win that game. I think they'll beat the Colts too. But then it's the game against the Vikings on Christmas Eve. I think we lose that game. You're going into Minnesota, and the game is at 1:00. Now, if that game gets flexed, Kirk Cousins in prime time. Are we being real here? Let's. I'm not scared of Kirk Cousins. In an 8 p.m. game, but
one.
I know one of our co-hosts is going to be very mad at that comment.
Roderick.
Yeah. Now, anyways, I definitely think if the Giants beat the Lions, you should be able to go 12-5, 11-6. So it'll be tough, but you should be able to make the playoffs. And then hopefully we talked a little, about this yesterday. If you didn't watch that video, go and watch it, everyone. It's the whole entire week in New York sports. We talked about the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, the Jets, and the Knicks and Nets. I had a big rant about the New York Knicks. I don't know why. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I just had to get on James Dolan. But anyways, like I said here, this upcoming schedule, it's tough, but you should be able to go into the playoffs. Now, what do you guys like see, potentially happening? Like if we face like the 49ers or like the Bucks, do you guys think we can beat like those teams in the first round?
I honestly think we can beat the Buccaneers. They haven't been playing like how everybody expected them to play. That's just my opinion.
Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like a team like the Bucks we could probably beat. Maybe I would 49ers are kind of like 50-50 with. I feel like we can beat them, but I feel like it definitely won't be an easy game when we do face them.
Yeah. Or Seattle, like if they win the division somehow, even though I don't think they will because they have like a tougher schedule, but still, if we somehow have to like go into Seattle, I don't like that one. but Tampa Bay, like, come on, like you should be. But now let's say somehow we have to end up facing Minnesota, which I don't think we will because Minnesota is probably going to be the second seed. And the Giants, if you just keep on being consistent, you shouldn't have that last wild card spot to face Minnesota. So I think they'll steer clear of that. But let's just say the Giants do go like 10-7. They kind of choke a little, and we end up facing Minnesota. I don't know. I don't really like our chances. Except if we're playing at 8:00, like I said. If we're playing at 8:00, we're all good. We're all good. We are all good. I have total. We can beat the Vikings if that game gets flexed. We're talking to you, Roderick. Roderick, we have a message for you. We're gonna say it right now. If the Giants versus the Vikings get flexed to 8:00, we're gonna win. Kirk Cousins is going to choke. And if it doesn't happen, I'm not doing anything. We're trying to.
We're not even gonna threaten him.
Yeah, exactly. We're not gonna, But anyways, yeah. Like I said, the Giants just keep on being consistent. Go 11-6, 12-5. You should be okay. Now, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we end this?
No, but we have a video of Roderick saying that the Vikings would smack the Giants if we played them both times. I'm just.
Yeah, we do. We'll definitely use that video if it does come to that point. We may have to bleep out some things, but
yeah.
So, anyways, I just realized we did not make predictions for the Jets game. So, what are your guys' predictions on the Jets versus Patriots?
I say they're playing in. Okay, they are playing. Okay, I'll say Jets win 28-24.
What about you, Alex?
Say 24-21 Jets win.
Okay.
On the game-winning field goal last drive, because that happens every week for some reason.
I think this will not be a high-scoring game. I don't think it will be. The Jets with their good defense, the Patriots, they have a pretty good defense. They're clicking. I think the Jets win by a field goal. Give me 20-17, the New York Jets, as they go on to lead the division after this week. The New York Jets will beat the New England Patriots. I can't actually no. I can't say that.
Don't say that. I'll be like, so the Jets didn't win. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets are done. Yeah, we do this, that's what Jet fans do every year. Now, thank you everyone for watching. I know this was a very short video considering everything else is like an hour long, but we kept it brief here. Didn't want to, hit our main points. So if you can just do me a favor and like this video and also hit that subscribe button, that will help. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.